Well, Lordy, there are indictments. Former FBI Director James Comey indicted by a federal grand jury on 2 counts, making a false statement to Congress and obstructing a congressional proceeding. Those charges follow an investigation into Comey's handling of the FBI's now discredited Trump-Russia investigation. And President Trump was asked if this is justice or revenge.
It's about justice, really. It's not revenge. It's also about the fact that you can't let this go on. They are sick, radical left people, and they can't get away with it. And Comey was one of the people. He wasn't the biggest, but he's a dirty cop. He lied. He lied a lot.
Now that James Comey has been indicted, who is the next person on your list in this retribution?
It's not a list, but I think there'll be others. I mean, they're corrupt. These were corrupt, radical left Democrats.
And James Comey looking more like an influencer as he hopped on social media to respond.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial and keep the faith.
So much for no one is above the law. The same Democrats and folks in the media who relished in the Trump indictments now all of a sudden are rattled by Comey being charged.
Not since Watergate have we had such an abuse of power.
Abuse of law enforcement powers, banana republic, or what some have called weaponization.
He's making good on his effort to turn the Department of Justice into a Department of Vengeance.
The country will see very clearly that we have an authoritarian president.
That's not normal.
For him, it's all about blood feuds and personal vengeance and vindictive actions.
Even more sadly is that many of his followers agree with this.
Eye for an eye, right? This is sort of Old Testament justice.
What comes around goes around. Mm-hmm. You know, today it's a Republican president.
All right, Greg, we got a Watergate reference.
I am so excited. He didn't say worse than Watergate. He said not since Watergate, but I'll give it to him anyway. Look, the same charge this guy created against Michael Flynn, basically destroyed him financially, went after his family, and he bragged about it. So he took credit for doing this. Now it's his turn. It's Comey's turn. And remember, you know, the Dems love due process, so let's due process the hell out of this guy. He may get away with it, but he's got to go through the process. I love the media saying that, you know, Trump has set a precedent. Have they forgotten Giuliani, Bannon, Stone, Navarro, Papadopoulos, the Trump supporters, 1,000 of them? They invented lawfare. So they can call it revenge. It's not revenge if you have it coming and if it's justice. Here's the issue. Here's the thing you got to remember about mutually assured destruction. It doesn't work when you go first and we're still standing. That's what just happened. When you come for us, you kind of got to finish the job because now we're in power and it's payback. Revenge, I don't care what you call it. I don't care what the media calls it. They have lost the privilege of our attention. They said collusion was real and the laptop was fake. Facts about COVID were disinformation. Joe Biden was president. The biggest scandal of our career, and they still haven't paid for that. So you know what? We don't care. Also, again, Democrats have to learn about cause and effect. You call people Hitler, then people will target them as if they're Hitler. You open the border and you give away free benefits, you create illegal mass migration. You create a cashless bail, you create a crime wave, and here you unleash lawfare against people you disagree with. You're going to get it in return when they come into power. Think about this stuff before you do it. What Trump said was right. It's like, we have to stop this. And the only way to stop something is to create a cost for your activities.
Yeah, Jesse, it seems like another case of Democrats doing a whole lot and then not liking being held accountable to their own rules.
Yeah, they're just mad Trump's doing to them what they did to them. So I don't care what you call it. I'm with Greg. Revenge, retribution, accountability. Who cares? It's happening. And I'm enjoying it because these people need to be punished. If someone declares war on you, what are you going to just turn the other cheek? You're right. It is an eye for an eye. And I hope we win. They're asking like, oh, well, this is like the revenge tour. Well, what would the revenge be for, Jessica? What would the revenge be for? No one really answers that question. All right? It's because they arrested him, they arrested his campaign manager, his campaign advisor, his lawyers, his national security advisor. They arrested his trade advisor and put him in shackles. They arrested his CFO. They arrested his valet. And not only that, they spied on him, staged a coup, impeached him twice, tried to bankrupt his company, leaked his tax returns, and then couldn't protect him from a sniper. So what are you supposed to do? They didn't think this was going to happen? They're stupid.
They did, which is why Biden gave preemptive pardons, because he knew that you were a vengeful bunch of babies.
But who didn't get it?
Babies.
But who didn't get the pardon?
Comey missed out on the
Comey didn't get the pardon. So this is just the beginning. Everybody has to have their house in order. They got to make sure their taxes are right. They got to make sure they never lied to Congress. They have to make sure they never committed mortgage fraud. Because the difference here is these things are actual crimes. When you lie to Congress, it's a crime. When you obstruct an official investigation, that's a crime. They didn't have to bake up some fugazi, untested, unprecedented law thing like Bragg. Oh, Eric Siebert. He's basically Comey's best friend. He got stuck in there.
Is that why Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche defended him?
Is in there. And then, like, all of Comey's, like, misfits are sitting in there. You get them out of there, clean out the scum, and put real people in there to do the job.
And Bondi.
Yeah, Kash Patel's a serious guy. And all he's doing is making it right. Now, Jessica,
he said he didn't know if Epstein ever trafficked anyone.
I'm not talking about
Epstein.
Guy.
No, that's about Kash Patel's seriousness.
We really don't care what you guys say or what you think or how loud you're complaining, because you guys did this, you started it, and we're going to finish it.
Does this count as Jessica's time?
No.
I do want to get to an example of why Comey is potentially in big trouble here based on his testimony. This is call for number 4 on Capitol Hill.
Mr. McCabe, who works for you, has publicly and repeatedly stated that he leaked information to the Wall Street Journal and that you were directly aware of it and that you directly authorized it.
I can only speak to my testimony. I stand by what the testimony you summarized that I gave in May of 2017.
So your testimony is you've never authorized anyone to leak.
Again, I'm not going to characterize Andy's testimony, but mine is the same today.
So we're going to start seeing, too, Jessica, this battle between those who are also in this mix. Andrew McCabe, who filled in for Comey once he was fired by Trump, he's going to have to decide if he's going to come back and back up what he said about Comey's authorization, or if he's going to allow Comey to lie about him when he's potentially in legal trouble as well.
The good news is that this has already been investigated and Comey has already been vindicated. So there was a special counsel, as there's supposed to be. And when you say they, what the Democrats did that was appropriate is there was a special counsel named Jack Smith, and he's the one that brought the charges. Because you can't have a president getting on social media or straight to your face and saying,
why can't you? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Enough.
Trump had to beat the case.
You're going to lose in court.
And
that's what
Trump
happened.
Won the election. So when you guys start winning elections,
prove that he didn't do all the
you
bad
guys
stuff.
can
It's just
start
that
calling the
He has
shots.
appointed enough members of the Supreme Court to get away with everything. And that's essentially what's going on here. So you had Michael Horowitz, who is the special counsel, who said in his report, the overwhelming weight of that evidence supports Comey's version of the conversation. They also tried to go after Andy McCabe. They couldn't pull that off.
He never interviewed
I think that
Comey.
everybody
He never
should
interviewed
pay
him.
attention to what Andy McCarthy was saying this morning, and he has a piece up in the National Review. The indictment against Comey should be dismissed. He said to Maria Bartiromo, this indictment is not about the Russia investigation, which is what you want to make it seem like. But it's not at all. It's completely detached from that investigation. And it seems to be premised on something that's not true. I don't think there's a case. I love Ted, about Ted Cruz, but McCabe never said that Comey authorized it. This is about leaking to the press. Don't think that the case gets to trial. If you wanted to get dismissed, maybe for selective prosecution, look no further than the president's social media posts or what he's saying to those gaggles. And also, it makes no sense to me why Donald Trump doesn't like Jim Comey, because Comey delivered him the election. If he had not come out 11 days before talking about whatever's on Anthony Weiner's laptop and then saying, oh, actually, there's no problem, you would have had 2 terms of Hillary Clinton. Clinton, and you would have liked it because it would have been amazing.
I did notice that Hillary
Also,
Clinton is not
Lindsay
defending her.
Halligan is the only lawyer that will do this. Don't you think it's weird that the entire Eastern District doesn't want their hands anywhere near us because it's such a bummer of a case?
Because these are
She's an
Democrat
insurance-
prosecutors.
every
from
single
Virginia.
one.
They are.
Okay. She's an insurance lawyer with no experience. She had to even go in front of the grand jury herself because she couldn't get a sidekick to even stand up there.
Okay,
with
who
her.
was
How do you
your
don't
lawyer?
like people
I
who
wanna
are
get Joey in
achievers?
here.
Who was the lawyer in Atlanta that was so great? Remember, what was her name? I only carry cash.
Fonnie Willis is not
Fonnie
just a lawyer.
Willis. I think she's better than Fonnie. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.